2010, they had the Rockefeller Foundation script a plan to introduce martial law and a permanent method for total control of the citizenry. In this plan that they disguised as an academic scenario, as they called it, the method they would use to gain complete prison-like control of the entire population was to infect them with a devastating biological pandemic, and then, under the guise of protecting us from this threat, they would be free to implement their final solution, a prison state.
It's called Lockstep, a world of tighter, top-down government control and more authoritarian leadership, with limited innovation and growing citizen pushback. In 2012, the pandemic that the world had been anticipating for years finally hit. Unlike 2009's H1N1, this new influenza strain originating from wild geese, even the most pandemic-prepared nations were quickly overwhelmed when the virus streaked around the world, infecting nearly 20% of the global population and killing 8 million in just 7 months, the majority of them healthy young adults. The pandemic also had a deadly effect on economies. You can see the agenda. Just naked, raw, naked control agenda written down, and it's anybody's guess how this becomes effectuated in real life. So whether this is written specifically as marching orders, or whether people take it upon themselves in the intelligence networks to say, okay, well, this has been produced, so this is the plan here. But these narratives have to be written in advance. Okay, the pandemic also had a deadly effect on economics. International mobility of both people and goods screeched to a halt. Which is what they want. They want a completely isolated world, right? Debilitating industries like tourism and breaking global supply chains. And they want you at home, in your house, in front of the TV. Then they got you. Because once you watch the TV, they own your soul. Even locally, normally bustling shops and offices sat empty for months, okay? So I love how they talk about it in the past tense in 2010.
Taking immediate presidential action to stop the violence and restore security and safety in America. I am mobilizing all available federal resources, civilian and military, to stop the rioting and looting, to end the destruction and arson, and to protect the rights of law-abiding Americans, including your Second Amendment rights. Therefore, the following measures are going into effect immediately. First, we are ending the riots and lawlessness that has spread throughout our country. We will end it now. Today, I have strongly recommended to every governor to deploy the National Guard in sufficient numbers that we dominate the streets. Mayors and governors must establish an overwhelming law enforcement presence until the violence has been quelled. If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them.
This right here, these troops marching in the street, this is martial law. And this is exactly what they want to acclimate you to. This is the frog boiling slowly in the water, only they're really heating it up faster now. They're acclimating us to an atmosphere of total control. That's top-down authoritarian control. Where have we heard that before? Oh yeah, Rockefeller's Lockstep, a world of tighter top-down government control and more authoritarian leadership. That's what this is, guys. This is Operation Lockstep, authored by the Rockefellers back in 2010. This right here, just look at this. This right here is what happens when you give up a little essential liberty to obtain a little politically promised security, which never comes. You don't get the security you gave up your liberty to obtain. You know what you get? You get despotism. You get authoritarianism. You get totalitarianism. You get total control. Jefferson said, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance, and indifference to this notion is the means by which the people will and have secured their own oppression.